All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, hello, it's your buddy Mr. G. Today we are going to go through some of our tools on our toolbar in Photoshop and Photopea here. I am going to go ahead and we're going to go to our classroom. We're going to go to classwork, and here in module 1, I want you to open up your images file, and right here on this 1876 picture here, we're going to go ahead and not left click, but right click, and we'll right click that image and we'll open that in a new tab. So that we have it here, and there's our big kind of picture of our space scene that we're going to open. Now from there, we're just going to go and you're going to click that download button, and you'll download that, and you'll open it up in that'll go to your downloads folder. Now I'm going to skip over here to Photopea. Make sure that you have signed in if you have not signed in already. And I am going to go ahead and go to File. I'm going to go to Open. And I'm going to go look for that 1876 in my downloads folder. Okay, it's right there. Got it. And we're going to open it. All right. So again, we're going to go through some things we've talked about. We've talked about our toolbar here. Remember, that's what's ever in your hand. And then our options bar is up here. You'll notice that it changes for whatever's in my hand to show what options I have for my for what's in my tool in my hand. All right, then we have our history panel over here and our layers panel. You know, this is just a single image. It's just a flat layer here. So we've got the layer name, we got our layer commands down here and everything. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go and we're going to duplicate this layer. So I'm going to select that layer, and I am going to right click and I'm going to hit duplicate, or I can put Command J is the quick key there, so that we have a duplicate of this. So we got a couple layers. Okay, so let's go through our tools here. Okay, again, we've talked about our move tool, talked about our zoom tool where we can click in and out using our option keys. We talked about our hand tool where we can move our whole image around. Okay, now today we're going to go through some of these other tools here. We're going to get about halfway down the palette here. Okay, so we've got the move tool. Remember, you want to have your auto select and your transform control selection up here, so that it puts that bounding box on there so we can resize things if we need to. And then we have our selection tools. Okay, now we're not going to do our selection tools today. I just want to show you where they're at. So we have our toolbar. You notice these little tools, as we hold over them, they'll tell you what they are. So as I'm holding over top of this tells me that it is the ellipse tool. Okay, it has a quick key of M, and if I hold down, you see that little triangle right in the corner there. It says if I hold down, what that little triangle means is there's more tools underneath that tool box. Okay, so there's a couple things in that drawer, if you will. Okay, so I have a rectangle selection tool and an elliptical selection tool, and you notice up here in the options bar we got a bunch of different things. Okay, then I have my lasso tool. It also has some different ones. There's a lasso, polygon, and a magnetic lasso. Okay, again, we'll do that in another lesson. And then we have the object selection, which is a artificial intelligence kind of thinking tool for selection. But we'll get into those later. The first tool we're going to actually do is our crop tool. Okay, and you'll see that we've got the crop tool, the perspective crop, slice tool, and slice select tool. Okay, now I don't use these a whole lot, but the one I do use on a regular basis is just your basic crop tool. Okay, and this is going to work just like your tool does when you use on your photos on your camera or on your cell phone, on your smartphone, where it's going to crop an image. It's going to cut it out in a different size square. Okay, so I can go in here and I've got my crop tool. So I'm just going to go and I'm going to select from the corner here, and I'm going to go out and I'm just going to make it more of a kind of, like a 4x6 kind of format here. We're kind of in a 4x10 format here. So I'm going to cut it off about like that here, where I kind of cut off this mountain and I'm going to cut off this mountain over here. Okay. Once I've got that, I'll go ahead and I push the check mark. Okay. And it will crop those tools. So I've got something here. What's going on here? Get my move tool and I'll put that back up. Stretch that up. There we go. And we'll commit that. All right, so that's what the crop tool does. Crop does just crops it down to a different size and format there. Okay, let's go down one further here again. You just hold over top, it tells what it is, the eyedropper tool. It has a short keyboard shortcut of the letter I. Okay, what the eyedropper tool does, it selects colors. Okay, get back up here so you can see. Now you'll see right down here, you've got some colors down at the bottom of your palette here. Okay, now if I click on one of those, it brings up the color picker. Okay, but let's say you need a specific color here. I'm going to close this just for a second here. Say we need this blue right here. I want to make another planet, or I want to add a detail, or I need to fix something, or I need to fix one of these colors down here, and you need that select color. That's what the eyedropper tool is for. You select the eyedropper tool, and I click in an area, and you'll notice that right here, my foreground color goes straight to that color. If I pick this color here, it does the exact match of that. If I click here, it clicks that. So that's what it does. It selects individual colors, okay? Now you also see you have a background color. You can select background color as well. You can switch those colors front and back with that little tool right there. There's a little arrow there that you can click it back and forth. And you can also use the keyboard tool of X to switch those foreground and background colors as well. Okay, so that is the eyedropper tool, and that's what it does. Okay, moving a little further down, we have the spot healing tool, or the blemish tool. Okay, so you hold down there and see we've got some spot healing tool, the healing brush tool, patch tool, content aware, move tool, and red eye tool. Most of you are probably familiar with red eye when you take photographs in with your camera and you get red eye from the reflection of the flash, and what that does. So a red eye tool usually takes that red out of the eyes. This is similar. So what I like to call this, so I call this the zit brush. So the blemish tool kind of takes away little blemishes and things that are need to be removed. Okay, so let's look in our image here. So let's say this star right here that I've got this planet in the background. I've got these couple stars. Let's say I want to remove those. Okay, let's go in here and let's say I got this one right here. Okay, now the spot healing brush, okay, when you get it, it has a circle on it. See, it's got a circle to it. So it has a brush, and up here in options bar, it has a brush selector. Okay, anything with a circle in Photoshop or Photopea is treated as a brush, so we can change the size of the actual applicator. Okay, I want you to take your size and I want you to take it up to about 100 there. It doesn't have to be exact, but about 100, so you got a good sized brush. Okay, and hardness is right here. And you've got some preset brushes. You'll probably have these first two rows. I've got some other ones loaded, but you have hard brushes. So if I hit this one that says it's a hard mechanical, it's 5 pixels. So it's a very small brush. You can barely see it there. Then a 12, and then a 24. These are fairly small brushes there. Okay, and then I've got some softer brushes here, and you'll see the hardness goes all the way down. So hardness, think of it like if I have a paintbrush and I've got a bucket of paint and I dip that paintbrush into that paint and I brush it on the canvas. It's going to make a big, dark stroke, a vivid, very hard edged. Okay. Then think if I have a spray can, an aerosol can of spray paint, and I make a line, it's going to make a very fuzzy, soft line. So that is the difference between a hard and soft. Okay. So I want you to get your brush, make it all the way hard, make it about 100 pixels so you can see it. And then you can just click away up here. All right, now we're back talking about that blemish tool. So we've got our brush size, so we're going to try and make this go away. Like I said, that is a blemish there. So I click right there one time, and it's going to think about what it's going to place in that image. And you see it just made it disappear, okay? And we go away, okay? It also did some weird things with the stripes up there, okay? Let's try it again, and we'll try it right here on this spot here. I'm going to click one time. And what it's trying to figure out is taking the information that is around everything and deciding what I should fill it with. It's trying to say, and it's like, oh, you're trying to get rid of that big spot, okay? But there's also other spots there, so it made another spot. So let's click that spot. And you see it fills it with another spot. So this doesn't work. It's giving me a whole lot of different spots here. Let's go in an area over here. Let's go with this one right here. And this tool is going to work different every time you use it. You see there, it got rid of that one completely. And it got rid of that one completely. But what it's doing, again, it's taking the information around the image and deciding what you are trying to fill it with. So it's taking information from your image and filling that area. So like the classic thing is to think about like a model. When you see models and on a cover of a magazine, she might have a blemish on her face, like a zit or something, or bags on her eyes. And we can take a zit and we can just make it go away with the blemish tool. Okay, by clicking on it, and then it thinks about it, and then it takes it away. Okay, so that's what the blemish tool does. Hit Command 9. All right. Now we're going to go right down below the blemish tool is the regular brush tool. Again, the brush tool is a brush, and it comes with a brush indicator. So what the brush tool does, it works exactly like you think it's going to. I'm going to take a brush, whatever is my foreground color here. Let's go ahead and switch it to the pink so you can see. I've got that pink color here, and when I go in here, and I click and drag, it's going to draw in there. Okay, Command Z. And let's go up here, and I am just going to draw, let's write just make a smiley face up here. Just a little hard with your thing, but just put a smiley face right there, up on there, okay? So that's what the brush tool does. Now, if I want to change the color, I can just click in my foreground color, and I can pick another color, and you can see I have the color picker. If I just click outside, I can get any of those other colors there. Once you select your color, you can push OK. I'll put some fuzzy hair on top of my smiley face. All right, moving along. So that is the brush tool. Let's go ahead and get a soft brush now. Go to the preset here. We have a soft brush, and make that a little bit larger so you can see it. And we'll grab a color here. Let's grab this bright blue right here. We'll push OK. And then I want you to just, with the soft brush, put a circle around your smiley face. Okay, so that's what our brush tool does. So you can kind of see the difference between a hard brush, as the pink is, and a soft brush with the soft blue there. Okay, moving along here, the next thing that we have is our clone tool. Okay, now the clone tool is a little bit more complicated to understand. So the clone tool, when we click it, okay, it has options up here, okay, and it again has a brush, so we can set the hardness, softness. Let's take the softness down to about halfway and make the size about 150 and 150 there, or about 50% right in the middle there. And we can go ahead and click away. All right. So what the clone tool does, and I've got the clone source set for this right here. Okay. Clone source, or the clone tool, what it does, it's like a rubber stamp tool. It's going to copy one area of your painting and paint it onto another area of the painting. So let's say I've got this set. So in order to select your clone source, and this is where everybody's going to get lost, pay attention, you have to hold down your option key. You hold down your option key and you'll get a little crosshairs here, okay? So when I click, I'm going to click on this like shooting star right here. I click right there, okay? And now you'll notice my cursor gives me this shooting star emblem right here, okay? So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click and I'm going to drag, and it's going to paint right there. And you'll see there's that little X that is following my paintbrush. As long as I click and drag, it'll continue to paint that. Okay. And I can put another one right here next to it, but it's painting from that source. Very cool. Okay. Now, let's say I want to paint another planet. I can use this to duplicate things in my image. So let's go ahead and I'm going to hold down my option key. or your Alt key if you're on a Windows or a Chromebook. And I'm going to click right over here on the edge of the planet. Okay, now you'll see that I have that edge. So if I start painting right here, I click and drag, it's going to start painting that planet in right there. As long as I continue to click and drag, it's going to continue to paint from there. Now, if I let go of it, it's going to reset back over here to the area where I set as the clone source. Okay, so if I stop and I go again, it's going to keep going back to that clone source. So you have to hold down until you're done painting an area. Okay, so if you kind of mess this up, that's fine. I'm going to hit Command Z to undo, Command Z to undo, Command Z to undo. Let's do that one more time. I'm going to set the clone source by holding down my Alt or Option key, and I'm going to click right over here on the planet. And then I want you to paint a whole planet right down here on the edge of your painting. So I'm just going to click and continue to hold down and paint this whole planet right down here. And again, as long as I hold down, it's going to continue to paint. Right there. Okay? All right. Now we're going to go up here. Our next tool down the line is our eraser tool. Okay? Let's go ahead and turn off this bottom layer here real quick. I'm going to poke the eye out, and I'm going to make sure I'm on this background copy here. And let's say I want to erase out this shooting star right here. And an eraser tool is going to do exactly as you think, and it again is a brush. So you can set the hardness and the size of it. And I'm going to just, and when I erase, it erases all the information, okay? So I don't use the eraser tool a whole lot because it is destructive. It literally will punch a hole right into your image. And if you don't have another layer under it, like we have here, it's just going to cut a hole out. Remember that checkerboard means there's nothing else underneath there, okay? And then I want you to stop there. Okay, so you're going to take a screenshot. You're going to hit print screen if you're on a Windows machine, Command Shift 3 if you're on a Mac machine, or you're going to hit your Control and show screen, which is the little box with the lines next to it above your 5, 6, 7 buttons, top center of your keyboard if you were on a Chromebook. Okay, get that screenshot and then turn that into this assignment. Okay, and we will pick up there later. Have a super day, and I'll talk to you soon.